What's up, everybody? This is Nick, and you're joining us once again for a Micro Mini Lightning Newscast. And as always, I'm joined by my friend and co-host.
This is Eric.
And Eric, today we have stories of, weather or not.
Or lack of disaster.
Or natural disaster. The not of natural disaster.
Yes.
I'm not sure what that actually means.
Me neither, but I'll agree with you.
It sounds like a sentence.
It was structured like a sentence.
Was it English?
I'm unsure.
Did I speak another language? Did I do it?
You have before, Nick.
Well, you know what, audience? That's for you to decide. But right now, we have stories brought to you about lack of weather. Lack of weather.
All right. We do.
It's the thing that you want. Lack of weather. Okay, and as always, Eric, we have 10 minutes. 10 minutes that we sometimes adhere to, most of the time ignore, but we set it on our guest star, Death Star anyway. So in 3, 2, 1, Eric, hit him with that first story.
Well, the first story, as we've teased, is the lack of something. Oklahoma and Kansas is experiencing...
That's us,
That's
Oklahoma.
us, yes, that's where we live. We're experiencing a drought. A drought of the best kind. A drought of tornadoes. We have no tornadoes.
I'm not complaining.
We live in an area of Oklahoma that is known pretty heavily for tornadoes. We've had a couple F5s roll through and destroy large swaths of our communities.
Right. We're smack dab in the middle of what they call the tornado alley.
We are. And right now... Total, you want to know how many tornadoes Kansas has had this year? 2018, it's almost May. How many tornadoes have they had?
17.
17 is not right. That's too big. The big goose egg. Kansas has had 0 tornadoes.
Oh, they've also had 0?
Yeah, they've had 0 tornadoes. And in fact, Oklahoma, I don't think we've had one either. Yeah, we have not had a tornado. And this is very, very strange for Oklahoma. We typically have, I want to say, I don't know what our average is, but it's pretty high because we get tornadoes quite regularly. I've been in tornadoes several times. I've never been in an F5 or an F4, but I've had F1s and 2s around me pretty close to me. I had an F3 just down the street from my house. Tore up the hospital pretty good.
Well, Eric, let me ask you this. When was the last time that Oklahoma did not experience any tornadoes?
Well, it looks like the record for the longest non-tornado time.
Right.
In April's a big tornado month. It was April 26, 1962. It took from April 1st to April 26th, no tornadoes, but on April 26, 1962, they had a tornado. April is a big tornado month. We have them all the time. We're just used to them. I mean, I'm not even afraid of tornadoes. I have a in-ground tornado shelter. Does your dad have one?
He does not have one, but my brother does.
Oh, there you go.
There's many people around us that do.
Yeah.
Tornado shelters became a big business around here after that F5 hit.
In fact, part of mine was paid for through a grant that they spread around, that they were just paying for X amount of tornado shelter, like a couple $1,000 if you wanted one.
A lot of people took advantage of that grant so that people could do that.
Yeah.
So where have all the tornadoes gone, Eric? Where have they been?
Well, they just haven't been occurring as much. Oklahoma's had tornadoes kind of all around it. There's been a couple in Texas and Arkansas, but just none of it Oklahoma, and there's been very few. And it seems that there's a trough in the jet stream that's keeping that moist Gulf Stream air out of Oklahoma. And usually that Gulf Stream air comes up into Oklahoma and kind of messes with and hits some dry lines and some stuff, and some big storms pop up on a regular basis. I mean, we have just down the road here in Norman, one of the National Weather Research facilities is there. It's in fact right near the campus of the University of Oklahoma, and I've been there several times.
Would can you really call this a drought? A drought normally has like a bad connotation to the word.
Well, I mean, maybe
this is not really
for weathermen and the crazy weather chasers, which if you live in Oklahoma, I'm sure you know one of them because they're all over the place. it's a drought for them. This is terrible for them.
Well, let them go chase them in wherever else they're going. Tennessee and look, any damage that a tornado does in Texas is only improvement, really.
Well, they think they everything's bigger in Texas anyway. We know that's not true.
They can have all the big
so
tornadoes.
They can have all the tornadoes.
Want.
I'm happy to share tornadoes with Texas.
Right.
I mean, Texas Tornado Alley would be great.
I am not going to be, you know what? For years, Oklahoma has been stingy with their tornadoes.
We've been hogging them.
We have. It's time, guys. Look, Oklahomans, it's time for us to share.
Let's share the tornadoes. Share the wealth.
Sharing is caring.
That's right.
And that's why I say this year, give a tornado to a friend. A friend state next to you.
That's right. Call a friend and say, I got something for you.
I'm sending a little something your way. I boxed it up just for you. Stand outside and look for it.
That's right. Just look straight up.
That's what you say. That's what you say. Well, Eric.
What's that?
That is just crazy that we have not had any tornadoes. You know what else is crazy?
I like to know crazy things. So what?
Well, my friend, recently, China...
Sounds crazy.
Actually, I know. Just the other day, I'm looking at the date here. Sorry about that. I'm looking at the date here. But just the other day, Chinese authorities accidentally reported 2 major earthquakes that never happened.
Oh. Well, there's going to be a shakeup over in the Chinese area
I see what you're
to
doing
get those
there. A shakeup.
Geologists back on track.
Yeah, well, probably knowing China and its kind way of dealing with people that make mistakes, I'm guessing these gentlemen no longer are living.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's North Korea over there, but maybe.
No, buddy, it is, I don't know. Anyway, here's what happened.
What happened?
Late on Thursday, China's earthquake this is last Thursday. China's earthquake administration said on the website there had been 2 6.5 magnitude quakes just 10 seconds apart at opposite ends of the country in the far western region of China, I'm about to school you on how to pronounce your cities here. Xinjiang and the southwestern province of Yunnan.
Oh, wow. Nailed it.
I know I did. I told them I was going to tell them how to pronounce their cities that they've been doing all wrong all these years. But so this is how people normally learn of these quakes. Now, this showed up on their website, but it didn't show up on the microblog, which is where I guess people normally do that. However, it was something that I guess on Friday, in a statement on its website, the administration said that it had in fact been holding an emergency response exercise.
Oh, so they reported it just to do kind of like when they pull the fire alarms or test them in the buildings, and you're supposed to go do your fire safety stuff, right?
Right. I believe actually the guy that got fired from Hawaii that accidentally put out the thing about the nuclear attacks.
Yep.
A while back.
This is not a drill.
Went and got hired by these people.
Wow.
I know. It's
string
good.
a bag of luck, just bad luck.
Well, no, it's good to see a guy land on his feet again.
Apparently.
But he, they said an accidental leak of the quake drill was picked up by the media and caused a misunderstanding. After this happened, our administration immediately organized relevant departments to delete the inaccurate information.
Oh, China's good at deleting information.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure those earthquakes weren't in America and they were stolen through intellectual property theft from the U.S.?
They were downloaded from the internet, probably.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
And Eric, earlier we reported that Oklahoma hasn't had any tornadoes. Well, I got some bad news.
I'm so happy, man. That's just amazing.
I know. Well, that may change tomorrow.
What?
Soon, because tomorrow a new jet stream is supposed to move in over the country. It's supposed to dip down farther, and all those nice little things that you said we weren't getting, the moisture and all those things, it's bringing it with it.
Wow.
And so Oklahoma, in the map that I'm looking at here, Oklahoma is right in the red zone, right smack dab in the middle of the red danger zone, as it says. And so we are looking at some severe weather coming our way.
Well, if we can just hold out to the 27th, we'll have broke that record from 1962
Woo!
for the longest streak of not tornadoes in April in Oklahoma.
That's right. 2018's number one in your face 1962.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I bet you feel stupid now. you in your 60s.
Yeah, with really good music.
Yeah, good music with your hippies.
Yeah, and your awesome drugs.
Yeah. Freewheeling life. Anyway, well, everybody, we hope that wherever you're at, you're staying warm, you're staying dry, and you're listening to a podcast that brings you the news in 10 minutes. And Eric, if they wanted to know where to find that podcast, where would they go?
Well, you know where I'd go, Nick?
Where would you go?
I would go to my favorite podcasting app, any of the myriad of podcasting app or streaming audio services such as Spotify, and search for Puck Podcast. And, the Pull Up a Chair podcast is here to inform and entertain. But if you don't want to just stay on a podcasting app, you want to hit YouTube or Facebook, you can find us there. Just search for Pull Up a Chair podcast, and we will pop right up with the beautiful triangle logo we have. Also, you can find us, last but not least, at our own website, puckpodcast.website, pucpodcast.website. Wow, it just
that is the one.
Is it. But
yeah.
it almost fell out, but I grabbed it at the last minute. So there we go, Nick. Back to you.
All right. Well, we thank you for listening to us, whether or not you liked it or
I hope it was the weather that you liked, not the not.
Well, I mean, whether you like the weather or not.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's going to change in the moment, especially if you live in Oklahoma. The weather can change in 5 minutes.
Yeah. How many times have you went somewhere and it was 80 degrees and then by that evening it was snowing?
I don't know. I mean, it happens here quite often.
Yeah, hey, it's 80 degrees and you're going home in shorts from school and it's snowing.
Yes.
And it's in the 40s or lower.
That has happened, and I believe we've shared that story.
Yep.
I've shared a story like that on here at least. All right, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have yourself a nice, warm, and dry day.
Bye.